see what's behind me? It's back up. When I was out on the test ride on Monday, I noticed that the pickup was average. It wasn't great, and particularly going up a hill it was labouring a bit. Now and it wasn't consistent, so there are really only a couple of things that can be. So I'm actually going to check the variator. The reason being is I actually didn't take it apart when I was replacing the belt. I just left it there because 5,000 miles it shouldn't be a problem. But we're going to take it apart now and have a look at that. The other thing I'm going to do is go through the braking system because I hadn't done that. Now the back wheel it's a bit tight. It's not very tight, it's a bit tight. So I'll loosen off the caliper and see if the wheel frees up. It does have to, when you turn the wheel, it does have to drive a lot of gears and go all the way back the reduction of the final drive. So it is quite heavy, but I think it should be more free than it is. So look, leave that with me. I will strip down the well, not strip down the final drive. I'll expose the final drive. I'll take the covers off, and we'll take it from there. Well, quick update. I'll take a handheld camera, and if we come round here to the drivetrain. So I have had everything apart here and checked everything over, checked all the dimensions, and checked the way everything should be. So the variator, drive plates are fine, the rollers are fine, the ramp plate is fine, the drive bush is fine, the belt is fine, it's new, the driven rollers are fine, the clutch is fine, the clutch shoes are fine, everything in there is fine. So I have to conclude that the problem isn't with the final drive. Now, if we go around to here, we will see that the back wheel turns relatively freely. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but what I would say is it's not enough to cause a performance problem. And if we turn everything with final drive here, it's grand. I mean, one finger. So mystery number one. Now if we go to the front, again, if we look at the brakes here, sorry, that's rubbing against the this here. So if we go to the brakes here, there's tightness, but it's not dreadful. It's enough to want to clean everything out. So what we have here is the upper piston, this one, is the front brake. The lower piston combined with the back brake is combined with the back brake. Now it's all a bit tatty looking, so it does need a good clean out. There's single pots, so there's a it's only pressed, the fluid's only pressing against the other half of the caliper. There's no, they're not dual pots either side. You can see that the diameter of this top pot is bigger than the diameter of this bottom pot, so that's your front, that's your combined. The bracketry all needs a good clean anyway, so we'll give everything a clean up. So what I'm going to do now is free everything up. You know, these will need freed, the brake nipples will need freed, the bleed nipples will need freed, these bolts here that remove the caliper, and the same at the back end. I have to remove the muffler at the back end because it's in front of the brake. And we'll do all that, check out all the calipers, make sure everything's nice and free, and fill it all up with nice new brake fluid. So unless there's anything interesting in the middle of doing all this, we'll talk to you after I've done it. Afternoon, folks. I haven't spoken to you in well over a week, and my what a week it has been. Do the brakes, they said. It'll be fun, they said. It was an absolute fucking nightmare. So I'll show you the bike, and I will try and explain everything that went on. So if I get my little handy healthy thing, we'll go over there. So as you can see, the bike is in a bit of a state of dismantlement. The whole front end is off. All of the handlebar cowlings are off. They were a nightmare in themselves because it tells you to take them apart in the manual. It doesn't match what's under the handlebars. This front end is off here, and you knew as far as we'd got here. We'd taken the exhaust off, and yeah, that just allowed a much better access there. So what has happened? I'll come round to the front again here. Basically, the brakes are now working. The brakes are working lovely. They're not binding, but there are different calipers. I'm going to say different specifically. The rear has a new old stock caliper, but it's actually for a cruise sim, not for a Joymax. It's the same caliper. The front is a much newer, it's a 2022 caliper as opposed to mine, which is pre-2016 because the bike was 2016. It is impossible to buy service kits for the brakes. You can't get master cylinder kits, you can't get caliper kits, you can't get seals, you can't get pistons. So if you have a problem with the brakes, you have to buy new calipers. Okay, now that's fair enough. Okay, now I ended up spending about 150 quid in calipers on a second hand one, on a new old stock one. You know, fair enough, that's by the by. They're 800 quid from Sym, and that's if you can get them. The parts availability, it's horrendous. It is really horrendous. Now Sym, in the unlikely event you see this video, if you want to be in the top notch, you gotta have spares availability. Not everybody who buys a scooter off you is going to get it in PCP and change it every 3 years. Okay, it really is ridiculous what I had to go through to get the brakes working on this. The other problem with this is bleeding the brakes. The volume that the master cylinder expels isn't big enough. So what you have to do, and this will apply to anybody doing the brakes, a couple of pumps on the brakes and then release the bleed nipple. If you just pull the lever in, all it's doing is compressing the air. It's not pumping any more fluid down the system. It took me and a mate, there's a bottle over here. I don't know if you can see this, but that's how much fluid we had to put through the system to get it to bleed.
Another reason why I've got everything apart here is to check, this is the ABS pump here, is to check all these unions and things, and you know, the back, and make sure nothing's leaking. There's the back of the rear master cylinder. And one final point, I was led to believe, and the documentation leads you to believe, that this is a dual system, right, or it's a combined system. Front brake operates, if I come down here, I don't know if you can see, but there are two pistons, a large one and a smaller one. There's not a big difference in them, but we've got two sets of pipes going in, all that sort of thing. This one is supposed to be the front brake. This one is supposed to be combined with the back brake. Now, if we come up here, this is the big piston, this is the small piston, and they both go into the same line, which goes back up to the front brake. It isn't a combined system. It's simply not a combined system, so they're telling lies in their documentation. And I have to say, these are the worst motorcycle brakes I have ever worked on, period. And that's saying something. I've worked on some sheds in my time. They were dreadful. The calipers have two seals in them. There's a very, very small seal, and then there's a bigger, which is fairly normal sort of a seal. The very, very small seal is supposed to be a dust seal, but it's internal, so the dust is already inside the piston before it hits the seal. I'm disappointed. There are other aspects of this bike that I do like, and I like the way it's put together, I like the way it's built. But for fuck's sake, Sym, put decent brakes on them.